bawat team na naririto. Salamat po sa pagpapaundak na sumali kayo sa first season po ng FEBL. Salamat po sa pagtitiwala nyo. Pinapangako namin, lalo pa namin pagagandahin po ang ligang ito hanggang matapos po.
Gives it Zodiacal with a quick goal! Gets that shot to go!
Back into the ball game we go. We are still live here at the Central Recreation and Fitness Center, live at the Quezon City venue for the second game of the second game day of the Far East Basketball League's inaugural season. It's still us, Hans Galeria, and together with me is Coach Anton de los Reyes, and you will be seeing Miss Angelica Sarmiento at courtside for later. Here are the participating teams. You've seen some of them, maybe some you haven't just yet, and we will be witnessing most of them or more of these teams sa darating na mga susunod na ating mga laban. But again, this is a major header that we will be witnessing because Angeles University Foundation and also the Polytechnic University of the Philippines would try to extend kung ano yung kanilang mga nasimulan. Speaking of which, from Angeles University Foundation, Gian Cruz, he has been a stellar performer from what we've seen, right, Coach Anton?
Gian Cruz scoring 18.7 rebounds, 3 assists. He was the best player of the game in their first game against St. Catherine, looking to continue on for today.
Not only that, because you're also going to have to look at number 77. That's CJ Buitison. Probably had a very, lackluster game, but he still tried to deliver as much as possible.
So CJ Buitison, 10 points, 8 rebounds, no doubt will want to make a mark in today's ball game as well.
Meanwhile, you also have to take a look at another team that started off with a win, the PUP Radicals, that was led by mostly of how they have executed well in terms of offense and in defense.
So that's Jet Monteleola, 20 points, 4 assists, 3 steals in their Game 1 win against Arandia. Lockdown is what we're going to see from this PUP team together with Jet Monteleola. 20 steals ang PUP in that first game.
Yeah, that was insane. And you're also going to have to look at number 19. That's JV Zodiacal. And I would just like to give him the praise because, man, he had that buzzer beater on lockdown to get the win para sa kanila. Let's throw it over once again to our game announcer, Gio Cruz.
New Era Recreation and Fitness Center here in Quezon City as we bring you the continuation of Far East Basketball League Season 1. It's between Angeles University Foundation versus the PUP Radicals. And now let's meet the starters, beginning with Angeles University Foundation. Starting guard number 10, Vince Atwell. Shooting guard number 6, Paul Tulobing. At forward number 77, Charles Buitison. Honor forward number 99, Yomar Lagman. And at center number 4, Gian Cruz. Head coach is Jeffrey Carposo. And now let's meet the starters from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Radicals. Starting at guard number 8, James Rivera. Shooting guard number 19, JV Zodiacal. Small forward number 7, Jet Monteleola. Power forward number 17, Cedric Sonsona. And man in the middle, number 13, Jerry Cruz. Head coach of the PUP Radicals, Jodel Pacampana. Our game officials, crew chief Rene Guevara, umpire 1.
We've finally seen the starting lineups. That's Cruz, Tulabing, Atuel, Buitison, and Lagman for the Great Danes. Meanwhile, Montaloyola, Rivera, Cruz, Sonsona, and Zodiacal para naman sa kupunan ng Radicals. It's AUF versus PUP, the start of game number 2 of also the second game day of this season. This is a major fight on who can keep the momentum, lalo na dalawang teams to nagkakagaling lang sa panalo. One has to give.
That's correct. So both teams want to have that streak going. They want to get that 2-game winning streak and no doubt have that cushion sa habang maaga pa lang sa ating tournament or sa ating liga.
At habang maaga pa lang, you have to take note of those errors as well. Vince Atuel, wearing number 10 para dito sa kupunan ng Angeles University Foundation, has gotten his first nod as a starter para sa kanilang kupunan, and hopefully he can contribute to something here. Meanwhile, that's Montaloyola, the best player of the game from PUP. Couldn't convert on that shot. Buitison lining up the troops. Atuel re-recta dito sa gitna. Gian Cruz, the best player as well para sa AUF, brought it over to Buitison for the first 2 points.
So Buitison, Charles Buitison getting that bucket to go inside. You like how he's able to get space, no? Get that shot off. And that's again because of footwork.
Oh, beautiful no-look pass. Papunta dito kay Jeric Cruz. 2 puntos naman para sa Radicals.
So we're seeing points in the paint. Both teams making sure to get those points in the paint early.
And so far, both teams are, attacking the basket. Hindi sila yung nagpapaligoy-ligoy sa tres lang. They want to get into the paint as much as possible. We're probably going to see much activity from there.
That's true because AUF, they are known to attack the paint. In their last game against St. Catherine, they had 32 points in the paint.
That's a lot. I mean,
so that is a lot.
There's going to be activity. I was about to say some activity, but nope. Activity happening dyan sa paint in the green shaded area of their respective courts. This time around, it's Montaloyola again who's gonna try getting his own rebound. Kaso mabibitawan niya yun. Not the best start para sa 7 ng PUP.
That's Jet Montaloyola. But I like that he's following his shot. That's something that's very basic. You need to follow your shot. Because you're the one that knows where that ball is going to go. Ikaw ang tumira eh.
Kasama sa drills yan eh.
Yes.
Diba? Nakarekta sa drills yan. Every time you try to go at it, you try to absorb the missed shot. Unfortunately, he's also gonna be absorbing that first personal foul dahil medyo naiwanan siya ng kanyang binabantayan at that moment. Atuel tries to get a screen from Cruz. Fighting over the PUP defense. Buitison thought about it. Goes to his left. Leaving Atuel for 3. That's off. Lagman, or should I say, that was Tulabing na ililipat kay Cruz para sa 2 puntos.
Paul Tulabing could be credited for that assist because he tapped that ball to his teammate for that 2 points.
That was a miss from 3 para kay James Rivera. Here comes L3, as we would say, because that's Leomar Lay Lagman. So that's L3.
L3, okay.
And he bumps like a van too.
I was gonna say.
So
maybe
you know it.
L3 kasi he's built like an L300 van.
And you'll see it on how he plays, man. I'm telling you.
All right.
He's L3 for a reason. I call him L3 for a reason.
I'm going to keep my eye out on L3.
And then we go over to Montaloyola again. He's gonna try. Iiwan kay Sonsona. At matatawagan ng foul ang AUF. It's gonna be called on Lagman. L3's first personal.
So bit too late in getting there. Getting called for that blocking foul is Lagman.
This time Sonsona. And this is also the first set of free throws para sa kupunan ng PUP. And it's going to start from one of their big men. Unfortunately, it's a miss. You know, Coach, it really is important, right? The free throws, especially if we reiterate what happened in the very first game.
Yes, in the last game, it was down the wire. And for St. Catherine, had they made more of their free throws, could have been a different story.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And so far, lahat ng mga laro natin dito sa FEBL, walang lumagpas ng double digits ang lamang. Wala nga yatang lumagpas ng 5 points ang lamang. That's how tight it has been. And speaking of which, Zodiacal, the smallest guy on the floor, going up against the tallest guy on the floor. Just couldn't happen. But look at Cruz finding his way and getting 2 points.
That length of Cruz proving to be very valuable. I'm talking about the Cruz on the side of PUP. Getting that to go.
Jerry Cruz. Oh, Buitison. He thought he had LeBron as his teammate. Unfortunately, he's over in Paris. That was too high of a pass.
Are we talking about young LeBron or 40-year-old LeBron?
Honestly, 40-year-old LeBron or 20-year-old LeBron can get that basket. I really think so. But, you know, a man can hope. It's just 4. The 4, still the scorecard as we speak. There's more people finally joining in the party. It's TJ Apinan para sa PUP. And just like the very first game, so far, low-scoring game to para sa parehas na team. Here's Lagman. Irerekta kay Atwell. He's gonna try and gets the soft touch to go.
Nice one-handed floater by Atwell.
First start, first 2 points para sa kanya. Montaloyola now would try to fish for a foul and is successful. He was the best player in that very first game for a reason. Tries to lift the weight of the offensive end with 20 points apiece.
I talked to head coach Jodel Pacampara and he mentioned that for his team, wala naman daw talaga silang star player. That's not their style. It's more of whoever has the hot hand, that's who they will go to. So in that particular game against St. Catherine, it was Jet Monteleola who was feeling it, and feeling it indeed, because I did say 20 points in that ball game.
And he's looking forward to, reciprocate that same energy into the second match. But Witison having a run for it. There's the jump. Jerry Cruz tried to evade it, but it's pretty hard to evade a swerving van, and that is Leomar Lagman.
So great up fake by Lagman. And I like that from undersized bigs, because obviously when it comes to yung talunan, hindi ka mananalo. Pero he used his smarts, his basketball IQ to get his man up in the air and get that foul.
That was a steering wheel to the right direction. 8-6 in favor of, actually, AUF sa aming pagbabalik.
You are still watching PUP. You're still watching FEBL Season 1, and for the PUP Radicals, Coach Tio is happy to see the Radicals build their chemistry kahit na ngayon masasabi nga niya na they are still adjusting and just relying with their run and gun. He is grateful to see Tuso Jacal and Monteleola who has been leading their new members of the team. Dahil nga mabilis ang Radicals, AUF Great Danes has been working non-stop sa kanilang training para naman maging mas compose ang kanilang offense and of course a stronger defense. At sabi nga ni Coach Jeffrey, they aim to win para masaya ang kanilang kwentuhan pa uwi sa Pampanga. And Coach Anton.
That is a very good sign. Maraming salamat, Miss Angelica Sarmiento, and you are right. Medyo malayo-layo ang Pampanga dito sa Quezon City. Well, not so much. Pero mas masaya kasi kung masaya ang kwentuhan with the win, right?
That is correct. Maganda nga naman ang biyahe kapag maganda ang biyahe, kapag nanalo, maganda ang kwentuhan.
Oo, kasi parang wala mo nang usap-usap pag
Medyo awkward, no?
naramdaman natin yan, coach, yung mga time na naglalaro tayo. Pag magkakasama sa isang van or sa isang bus.
That's part of the bonding.
Right.
That's the part of the camaraderie, the bonding that you build.
And
Yung
speaking
mga
of
trips
which,
na ganyan.
that's Buitison. That will also be going on his own trip. A trip to the free throw line. For 3 free throws, I should say. Exclamador, one of the smaller dudes on the court right now. Pero you have to admire it from some of the smaller players that we see on the court. Kasi yung level of jump nila, pag-angat nila, it's so hard to reach it if you're not as tall as them.
That's correct. I always mention this, whenever you're going to challenge a jump shooter, you don't need to challenge the body or try to go to the block. All you need to do is bother them. And one way of doing that is going to the side of the shooting hand. So if he's right-handed, you fly by to the right. That way you bother you bother the player enough. Kasi again, you remember, this is college level. It is high level, pero not that high na, alam mo yan.
That's right.
Yung tipong like NBA level, mga ganyan na talagang they're gonna make it or knock it if they're free.
Well, he's made all of his free throws. That is a very good sign para kay Exclamador. That is already gonna make this ball game rest at a tie. He's now gonna guard one of the bigger ones in MJ Elospa. Atwell onto the middle. Not finding anyone, but that is a traveling violation. Couldn't believe his call, but we're gonna move on to the next play.
So that Yugo step, talagang tinatawagan yan when you jump on the same foot and land on the same foot. 100% of the time, you're gonna be called for traveling.
This time around, direkta sa gitna, Exclamador, lipat sila ngayon ulit. They wanted to go to the right side. He's gonna go for another 3, but gets rejected by Cruz. And look at this now. You know, the advantage of having Gian Cruz is you have a guy that is really big that can bring down the basketball so fast too.
Yes, that's a luxury to have if you have a big that can dribble or that has handles. Kasi magandang release yan pagdating sa pagka pinipress or you're being pressured. Usually the bigs are the ones that are used to release yung pressure.
But you know, when he's bringing the ball down, he plays like a guard. Look at that move. First quick step, using his body. Just not strong enough there. At sumabit siya sa pagkakataon na yun. So Cruz, Gian, to be specific, will be getting a second personal foul. That's big.
That is big. Everything but the basket for Gian Cruz. Scored 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He was the best player of the game para sa AUF Great Danes.
Genrev Manalo, papalitan ngayon itong si Gian Cruz due to the 2 personal fouls in the first quarter. Mamimintis din, unfortunately, nitong si Apinan yung kanyang unang free throw.
TJ Apinan, 2 points, 7 rebounds in their game against, in their win against Arandia College.
This is what Coach Joel was talking about, right? The important thing is you know your role. And at that point, L3's role was to crash into everybody. Unfortunately, for the side of PUP, they can't maximize the situation. Jokilo. Now it's Sunga. Jokino gets it again. Can he find the basketball? There's only 6 seconds left, and before Exclamador could make that shot, there was an illegal screen call on PUP.
So TJ Apinan getting called for that offensive foul. Again, I always have to stress this. You need to be disciplined when you are setting those picks. You have to stay still.
This time it's Atwell. Finding the open lane, merong tao sa likod. And Exclamador making 2 necessary plays to waste 7 seconds out of the Great Danes' time.
So you have to be more aware of your opponent, especially if they're going to try to pick your pocket. And as your teammates, no, you have to be vocal. You have to let your teammate know if there's someone that's going to pick your teammate's pocket.
Lagman now crashing into the pedestrians. Unfortunately, the pedestrians proved to be much stronger. Atwell. That shot's not going to count. And, I was talking to Coach John Hapos about this team when we did cover AUF, and he did mention that, there really is kind of a lack of one of the stellar guards, one of the guards that could lead this team in terms of plays. And in that very first game, we haven't really seen that much of it. Hopefully, in the second game, we get to see more of that moving forward.
So you're talking about AUF, no?
Yeah.
They need that steadying presence in the guard position just for them to calm their nerves, no?
This time, Exclamador, money from the corner.
Exclamador getting that baseline jumper to go. Too late was the help for number 99, Lagman.
Quaterno with a steal. This time it's Sunga for the 3. Air ball it goes. Back to L3. Just a little bit more than a minute to go in the first quarter. Elospa, may buelo. But unfortunately, that's a traveling violation called against MJ. Fatal errors have been causing point opportunities here para sa koponan ng AUF. 12-9 is the score. Lamang pa rin ang PUP. Coach, so far we have witnessed more size coming in from AUF, but what do you think has been the key factor kung bakit lamang and parang mas malinis mag-execute ng plays ng PUP?
It's because of their stellar guard play. Obviously, having guards that are able to control the tempo, control the ball game, very, very important for the side of PUP. And the speed, no, yung press defense ng PUP really working wonders for them at this point of the ball game.
I mean, they have an abundance of guards there. So, in case, Exclamador doesn't get the necessary job that he gets, then it's an opportunity for them to have a shot at the other players. Pero, so far, Exclamador has been putting in the work. He has 5 points. And even the ones who are not really guards are dishing out no-look passes, one after another.
They're chipping in to the cause of the Radicals.
And there you have it. I think that's 2 fouls. The foul will be called against Sunga. This is the slight advantage, or should I say not slight, this is the advantage of having big bodies on the floor na speed can't answer.
Yes, because once you get in the paint, height will become might. Because mahirapan talagang sumabay. Pagka sa labas, no problem because, you can always put pressure if you're a smaller defender. But once you get inside, it's really, really going to be difficult. So that's something that the Radicals need to overcome in this ball game.
Elospa scoring 2 for 2 on that free throw line. He had 9 points in the first outing. And I think they seem to struggle in trying to get it inside. But whatsoever, they will try to fight it in with the 3. Not gonna work. Elospa with another rebound. Tries to go at it, but, the lower center of gravity is working para kay Exclamador. Scrappy plays here, making it work para kay Apinan at sa PUP.
So TJ Apinan getting that basket to go. Beating his defender to get that 2 points.
Just 5 seconds left. Is Elospa aware of it? Marzan decides to chuck it in. And that will hit the backboard. And that's the end of the opening frame. A good start for both teams, but the last laugh will go to the PUP Radicals as they lead against the AUF Great Danes 14-11. Back into the ball game we go. You are still watching the very first season of the Far East Basketball League. Matchup is PUP Radicals going up versus the Angeles University Foundation Great Danes. The Polytechnic University of the Philippines lead by 3, 14-11. And this is, of course, presented to you by Nature Spring, Fat Boys Pizza and Pasta, and Easy Jersey Outfitter. Hans Galeria, together with Coach Anton De Los Reyes and Miss Angelica Sarmiento on courtside, bringing you the action live at the Central Recreation and Fitness Center here at Quezon City. Sunga starting off the second, lining up the three. Not gonna work. But there is Apinan again.
So that scrappy PUP Radical side getting that offensive rebound to go. Zodiacal tapping that ball to his teammate.
Here's Elospa now. Will try to fight it in, but that is an offensive foul para kay Elospa. I believe that's his second one already. Coach, I will always try to reiterate this, but I think the way PUP plays is annoying in a good way.
Pesky.
Is
Yeah,
pesky,
it's
yeah. Like if you're the side of AUF, you would be so annoyed. That's how pesky the defense.
That's the kryptonite of taller players if you put a smaller defender on them, especially if it's pressure defense.
Apinan lighting up a three, and sorry to interrupt you there, Coach. That was just a magnificent quick 5 points from Apinan.
Really quick offense being shown by PUP. Coach Jodel did mention that na talagang yung early offense, they really practice that. Very, very important.
And look at how unselfish the passing of PUP has been from start to finish. And if you're Coach Joel Pacampara, you would love to see that as well. Another following of the shot, and Apinan gets his own rebound and the putback for two.
And that's the second time we've seen a player from the Radical side that followed their shot. No? Kanina, it was sa Monteleola. Ngayon, Apinan.
At Coach, ibang-iba to dahil Apinan is already at double digits, and look at the passing of PUP putting in the work. And exclamador putting the exclamation point that the Radicals are here, and the Radicals are on the lead 23-11 against the Great Danes. Back into the ballgame we go. It is AUF that is seeming to struggle in this kind of situation, and you would love to expect more out of the best player of game number one, which is Gian Cruz. And we'll hear more from Gian Cruz together with Miss Angelica Sarmiento. Angelica?
A little more time lang dito kay Gian Cruz. Aside from playing well, this guy also have a great interest sa online games when he is resting his body from the training. He said it helps his mind when it comes to strategy and logical thinking. And you know what? He also shared as young as 4 years old, ay palagi nga daw siya naghahanap ng bola as props when taking pictures. That's why most of his baby pictures, he is holding a ball. And he said maybe baka yun nga daw ang sign that he'll fell in love with basketball. And look at him now, Hans and Coach Anton.
Yes, we are looking at him right now, and he's playing marvelously so far in the season. Hopefully he can continue that kind of situation. But it was Yodge Kison finally getting his first 2 points, coach. He's played a lot in that first game, not getting a point, but playing good defense.
So Yodge Kison now getting in on the scoring act early in today's ball game.
Here's Zodiacal. Not gonna work. Kison getting a rebound, instructing his teammate to give him some space. CJ to Atwell. And then to MJ. Back to CJ on this one. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Atwell needs to fire, and he does. Just short. Good rebound now, but just not a very good pass. Galing dito kay Hugo. A fresh 24 has been awarded to the Great Danes. Sundot galing kay Quaternos, not gonna work. Buitison, Manalo, everybody on the paint now for AUF.
So that's where you see the height advantage coming into play for AUF. The speed is on the Radical side, but the height and heft nandito naman para sa AUF.
I think that's how we witness the side of the Great Danes slowing down the tempo of this game para hindi nila kailangan na isaalang-alang yung laro sa fast break, right?
Well, you can't fall to that style of play ng Radicals because you are going to get beat. So the best way to counter a fast-breaking team or a fast team is to slow the pace and get into your half-court offense.
This time it's Rivera checking back in. But look at another one of those scenarios. That was a huge bump. Good thing there was foam there, because that was risky, if I should say. But again, this is going to be, I believe, Zodiacal na malalagay dito sa free throw line once more. He has not scored just yet in this game, but one highlight that this player can put on his resume was the buzzer beater that he did against Arandia.
Now, talking about that buzzer beater, that was a play that was really drawn up by head coach Jodel Pacampara. He mentioned to me that the opponents that they had during that game, Arandia, were expecting a backdoor play. That's why they came up with that 15-foot elbow jumper.
Look at that. They got another one of those. Offensive rebounds. To think that they're one of the smaller and the lankier team compared to AUF, and they still get those second chance points. If you're MJ, if you're CJ Buitison, that has to hurt.
It does, and if I were assistant coach Mark De Guzman, I would address that definitely, because you cannot get beat by smaller defenders in terms of offensive rebounds.
Like, coach, just look at this, right? The two guards are fighting on the box out. That is crazy to me. But at the same time, it kind of like makes it work for them to transition to defense right away. Buitison now gets it over to Atwell. L3 back in the game. Rerekta pa ilalim si Charles. And that is going to be a foul against PUP. CJ Buitison, I believe, is going to the line for 2 points.
So Charles Buitison, 10 points again, 8 rebounds in their first game. Now has a chance to get 2 points via the free throw line. And we did see that. Hinihingi niya talaga yung bola from L3. Because he knew he had the advantage kay Apinan. That's TJ Apinan underneath.
The only problem is he couldn't convert on the free throw. On both. Oh, the free throws. So that's unfortunate. Ngayon, nagmamadali na naman sila. They get it over. Quick passing. A block coming in from Elospa. Apinan tries to go for the high arcing shot. Not gonna work. Rivera was waiting there. This time he tries it out. Lagman getting the rebound. Good defense coming in from AUF. And now you're gonna have to face the pesky defense of PUP. Buitison going to his strong side. Lagman goes against Hugo, and he gets the steal. He runs for it, and there is Zodiacal with 2 points.
Zodiacal, see him turn on the jets.
Coach, he is fearless.
I know.
He, in the face of players that are probably a foot taller than him, he does not care. But speaking of which,
That's Charles Buitison
Yep.
getting inside.
he's gonna go back to the free throw line. Maybe this is something that they could exploit moving forward, especially that there's still a lot of time left on this first half.
It is important for you to be able to get to the line because seeing that ball fall through the hoop, it helps it. There's a psychological effect. No, so that's why it's always important to get to the free throw line. That's why we're going to see, we should see a lot of that para sa AUF.
Buitison, the opening point. The opening 2 points of this game was him under the paint getting 2 points. But ever since, he hasn't really scored and
Been silent so far for the Great Danes.
breaks his silence. That's 3 points now for number 77 from AUF. Lead is back down to 11, 27 to 16 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And look at this, right? The center bringing down the ball against the guard. Exclamador back in the game. In and out for Rivera. Not gonna work. Atuel now finding Gian Cruz. I thought he was gonna dunk it, but he settles for the layup.
So Gian Cruz running the break, getting that 2 points, and it doesn't get any easier than that for this Great Dane squad.
Rivera finding the groove. Although there was a bump, Hugo is down. More players on the side of the Great Danes, and Cruz once again catching it at the perfect time.
So this is the disadvantage of that pressure defense being shown by PUP. They're getting caught at the backcourt. Nakaka-leak out ang players ng AUF.
And again, who else would it be? 6 straight points coming in from Atuel to Gian Cruz para sa 2 puntos, and the lead is down to just 7 points, 27 to 21. Or should I say 27 to 22, the lead is cut down to 5 by AUF. Coach, it has been, the speed and the agility na nagiging kalamangan ng PUP. But once you see the big guys of AUF start to match up that speed, that's going to be a problem.
Well, definitely when they're in the front court already, that height advantage will be very, very evident for AUF. Kasi talagang it's going to be difficult to stop, no, for the Radicals.
27 to 22, balik sa 5 ngayon ang kalamangan ng Polytechnic University of the Philippines. They're starting to feel the pressure now. Kirante finding Exclamador. Now it's Rivera, tries to line up a 3, gets blocked. They're gonna try to go inside, and that is gonna work for De Jesus.
So Lance De Jesus being at the right place at the right time, getting that loose ball, putting it up inside, getting the 2 points. 2 points more than what he scored in their first game.
And that is a good start. Now he's going to have to guard Gian Cruz, who has been unguardable for the first half. 10 points already for the big guy.
Gian Cruz, we did mention, he is the star player for this Great Dane squad. Best player of the game in the first game.
Exclamador now against Atuel. This time De Jesus lines up a 3. That is not going to work. Gian Cruz now will bring the ball down. He's going to try to do it again. Buitison is going to line them up once more. Goes to the right and gets it to Atuel. L3 asks for the assistance. He wanted the valet. Now he's going to go park it on his own. Cruz for 3. How? How do you even guard the guy?
Inside, outside, Gian Cruz getting it done for the Great Danes.
Hugo finding some space, tries to get it in. But there will be 2 free throws na ilalagay itong si Andre Hugo. But man, before the set of free throws happen, I guess there was like a total of 3, 5, 7, 9 straight points na nanggaling kay Gian Cruz to bring the lead back down to just 2
Yes.
points.
9 straight points for Gian Cruz. He went on a self 9-0 run.
Yeah, you know what? I'll do it myself.
Yes. Let me get this done. Talking about Gian Cruz.
Fortunately for Armando Hugo, he got the first point there. The first point, his first point in this game. Maybe a second. That is a second, and the lead is back up to 4 points, 31-27. PUP back on their trap defense as usual. Rivera being pesky as ever, with the Sun starting to feel it. Everybody just trying to guard them as much as they can. CJ with only 10 seconds to shoot. Rivera anticipating the screen. Cruz gives it. CJ with the turn. Witison is going to be going to the line for 2 points.
Nice move by Charles Buitison. Getting his man in his back or back pedaling and going for that spin move.
Coach, what I like about Charles Witison is his choice of moves. Right? He knows when to use the right move at the right time.
Look at his number.
Yeah, 77.
That's Luka. And we all know Luka.
Oh.
He plays very deliberate. It's not the fastest, not the quickest, but the choice of moves, like what you mentioned, very, very effective. And that's why he plays the way he plays.
Unfortunately,
No doubt, yeah.
he has missed most of his free throws. I think all but one of his free throws here. Now it's Hugo against Lagman. And Hugo gets the 2 points.
That move by Armando Hugo, getting his defender off guard, now has 4 points, 2 more points than what he scored in the first game.
With the Son leaning onto the right side, he knows the defense is there, protecting the basketball and getting 2 points.
Like what you mentioned, the moves that he does, very, very effective. Talking about Charles Buitison.
27 seconds left in this first half. That's a 3. And that's a make coming in from Quirante. Yan ang pinakaunang tres niya in this game.
So Ismael Quirante did not play in their first game, making his presence felt today.
9 seconds left. Is Quezon aware of this situation? He gets it to Cruz. Quick job step, quick first step. Everything is quick. Just too much to handle. De Jesus just doesn't know what he's supposed to do. He gets another and one.
That patience being shown by Gian Cruz. Such a veteran move. Jab step, takes it to the left. Able to get that layup to go. Gian Cruz. And he did mention, bata pa lang nga daw. He's already been handling a ball. So
just 2 seconds left to handle this ball. And 2 seconds will not be enough time. And Gian Cruz putting on a masterclass, if I should say. Already scoring 16 points in the first half. At least half of his entire team trying to carry this offense together. However, this is still a PUP with the lead, 36-32 at halftime. Halftime stats will be presented to you in just a bit. This is still the second game day of the Far East Basketball League's inaugural season. PUP leading by 4, 36-32 against AUF. Field goal wise, we see more attempts from AUF, but in terms of the other aspects, kita mo yung bench points na sobrang laki ng agwat.
So 27 bench points para sa PUP, 6 for AUF. But this is expected because AUF, they have a short rotation. They only use around 8 to 9 players at most. And that's really the style that they have. Now, don't be fooled, the 59% and the 41.4%, mas marami talagang attempts ang PUP because of the defense that they're showing. 14 turnovers para sa AUF, 7 naman para sa PUP Radicals.
Coach, talk to me about 20 versus 22 points in the paint. That, I think, is, insanity, considering the difference of the physical aspects of both of these teams.
Well, the reason why 20 points ang points in the paint ng PUP is because they get the steals sa front court pa lang. So, when they get the steal, closer basket attempt, so it's counted as points in the paint.
It is an easier way for them to go at it. You're still watching the Far East Basketball League. And just like what we said, we are live at the Central Recreation and Fitness Center. At buhay na buhay kagad itong si Cruz na ililipat naman dito sa bandang likuran. And that is Sonsona na masusubukan, and that is going to be a 14-second shot clock remaining or given para sa side of PUP. Look at that. That's a quick play, quick pass. And this is what I like about this team, Coach. Yung pasa, if open ka, sige, rekta mo na agad.
So very crisp passing. As long as it's within the system, they really have the green light to shoot. That's from head coach Jodel Pacampara. Yan talagang gusto niyang nangyayari.
At well, this time around, getting his 4th point in the game. Last time he was here, he didn't score a single one. Pero ngayon, parang yun ang difference maker. But speaking of which, Jet Monteloyola, that's his 4th point of this matchup. Not as hot as the first time he was here, but he's still contributing. Look at this. Another one of those. Speeding, just like usual. Sonsona finding the basket.
So you see the high-octane offense ng PUP. And this was mentioned to us by Commissioner.
Yep, by our
Bien.
beloved Commissioner.
Yes, Commissioner Bien Capistrano.
I wonder why they're so fast, Coach.
When he visited daw itong PUP sa kanilang campus, nakita niya nag-iensayo itong Radicals sa loob ng swimming pool. May aqua training sila.
My goodness.
Talagang that's how they get their conditioning done.
And look at that. Jeric Cruz blocking itong si Gian Cruz. That's Cruz on Cruz violence. This time around, a failed attempt by Monteloyola. Chicken wraps by Tolabing.
Monteloyola, he was open at the baseline. That's a good shot.
Now it's Cruz trying to pave some space. Gutison forces his way inside and scores.
Charles Butison getting that bucket to go. He does have the advantage talaga. If you look at him, he's very strong, agile, he's mobile. No doubt he's using that to his advantage in today's ball game.
Already with 7 points in this game, Charles Buitison tries to go for his first double-digit scoring of the season. He has made a single free throw in this game so far. He's going to make a second. Total of 8 points.
Points now for Buitison.
This time, Sonsona again is going to try to test the defense. Gets his own rebound. Finds Jeric Cruz. Lands on the soft touch. Too strong. Buitison getting the rebound. And he gets it to Atuel for more space. Now it's Cruz. May buwelo na naman. Tulabing gets rejected.
Great timing by number 13 for PUP. That's Jeric Cruz. Timed that block perfectly.
Just Gian Cruz finding Tulabing, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jerry Cruz was right there. Now it's body to body. But look at Jerry Cruz. He's just accepting all of the contact, and Buitison, someone had to give in, and that moment it was Buitison.
Great defense by Jerry Cruz. There's a halt in the action.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, you know, if there was a lot of bumps that were happening, the ball probably got a little slippery, and that's pretty much understandable. But at the same time, you're going to have to give it to the defense that really is being promoted here by the side of PUP, standing their ground as much as possible.
And that's something of a surprise because we know PUP they'll defend full court, pero yung half court, medyo again disadvantage sila dyan because of the height. But Jerry Cruz shows us otherwise.
Lagman checking back in the ballgame, playing defense. Meanwhile, Monteloyola finding the right way, and that's the expressway for two.
So Jet Monteloyola not getting his jumpers to go, doing it inside. So that's what we talked about, not that the timing and to get your groove. Jet Monteloyola doing a good job.
Leo Mar Lagman, L3 coming in handy. That's a three-pointer from the big guy. And this is something that, you know, Coach, I've witnessed or I've noticed so far in this league. More of the big men are more comfortable shooting three-pointers.
I think that's the evolution of today's game, wherein you need those stretch bigs because it spaces the floor more. You're able to operate, and there are a lot more options in terms of offense for basketball teams.
Monteloyola gets it to Rivera, the dynamic duo of that first game. Tries to shoot a three. Contested, not gonna work. Buitison grabbing the rebound. 5:39 remaining in the third quarter. Charles finding a way from himself, goes to the left side. And that is a traveling violation. Another Yugo step, Coach.
So that's, again, 100% of the time, if you take off on the same foot and land on the same foot, take off on one foot, land in the same, you'll get called for traveling 100% of the time.
Miscommunication from the Radicals. Buitison using his speed and getting that 2 points.
Gotta like that layup by Buitison.
There's contact again. Monteloyola grabs it. But this time, I feel like it's Quezon na matatawagan ng foul as of that moment. Kung babalikan natin yung layup kanina na ginawa ni Charles Buitison, that will put him at double digits. 10 points. The first time for the season in 2 games para kay CJ.
Yes. So that layup, very nice looking layup off foot. Right on right. Right leg takeoff, right hand finish.
Zodiacal on the inbound. Gets it again. Thought about it. This time he thinks to shoot. A little too strong. Elospa back in the game. Gets a hook on that rebound. 4 minutes and 30 to go in the third quarter. Cruz at the top of the key. Now it's Elospa. Lipat kay Lagman. Gian Cruz has a spot there. But again, the swarming defense of PUP was just too much. Now it's Rivera na iiwan kay Apinan para sa 2 puntos.
TJ Apinan getting that basket to go inside. And again, I love the passing, the unselfishness being shown by the Radicals.
He now leads PUP by 13 points, scoring 13 out of the 46 total. Now it's Cruz trying to find his way. Iiwan kay Lagman. Goes to his left, then right, shoots. Absorbing contact, and he will go to the free throw line.
So the foul's going to go on Jerry Cruz. Couldn't get there on time, gets called for blocking. And I like L3 for taking that ball strong, taking it inside. Remember, he was able to hit a three-pointer from the corner. Normally, when you hit those shots, ang tendency ng players to take another three-pointer. Pero siya, he went for the up fake, went inside because he saw an open lane.
Just like what I would say, all brakes, no gas for L3, coach. That's automatic. He's gonna try again. Makes 2 for 2. 8 points now for Leomar Lay Lagman, also known as L3. And you can figure out why.
You gotta like that soft touch from Lagman, getting those free throws to go.
Exclamador checking in this game. Montelayola. And now it's Zodiacal with a shot. That looked good, but it wasn't good enough for the basket.
In and out on the top of the key three by Zodiacal.
A chance to tie or take the lead. L3 is back at it again. He's finding his space. Kumbaga sumisingit siya sa traffic, coach eh. Ilalaban niya talaga yung pwesto niya whenever and wherever he wants to.
Well, I like that. I like what I'm seeing from Lagman. He's able to get yung seal inside. He is the wider player, so once he gets you behind, there's really little to nothing you can do except to foul.
So now it's Lagman tested for the line, and Montelayola trying to plead his case to our officials. But unfortunately, that is going to be another one at it. Lagman making the first one. I probably don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say it as of the moment. And I'll just say the fact after he takes this shot, coach. Would you mind?
What do you mean that he's gone?
Nah, coach, don't say it.
He hasn't
Don't say
missed
it.
the free throw.
Yeah, no, don't say it.
I can't believe that just happened.
I told you,
I'm
coach.
sorry that
I told you, coach.
I jinxed it. I wanted to go and say it. I really wanted to say it, but yeah.
Hey, to everyone watching, I tried to stop him, okay? But as I was saying, one more point would have been double digits
For L3.
Yeah, and you said that he hasn't missed. That's true as well, but you know, that's no longer true. But Montelayola will try to find someone on the right. Finds Exclamador. Now it's Hapinan. Fighting under. Not gonna work. Is itong si Quaterno? Gian Cruz is having, a harder time than usual to bring the ball down by himself because of how pesky the defense is. And there he goes again. Now it's L3. High-low action. And Cruz wins on that one.
Nice passing inside by Lagman and Gian Cruz.
18 points for Gian Cruz. And not only that, they also have overtaken PUP. Parang medyo napako ang PUP. Sa 36 points, they've only scored 10 so far. Meanwhile, 15 already para sa kupunan ng AUF.
So they've overhauled that 14-point deficit nung half. They now lead by 1 point, like what you mentioned. 15 points already in the third quarter, and we still have a minute and 59 to go.
This is a clean take. Gian Cruz and Leomar Lagman. L3 will take a pit stop in this game as they now have a lead by 1. And Los Pato, Labing, and also Manalo joining the party here para sa AUF, led by Coach Mark de Guzman. But there you have it. Dairit not gonna work, but the power of Manalo is just right there.
Number 32.
That's Genrive Manalo.
Genrive Manalo getting that offensive rebound to go.
Ooh. Yeah, we had the same reaction
I
there.
know.
There was just a lot of people up in the air for AUF and PUPs. Now starting to have a harder time to deal with the height of this AUF squad.
And assistant coach Mark de Guzman really, linakihan niya na talaga yung lineup ng AUF.
And he instructed every single one to run. I feel like he said na kapag hindi kayo tumakbo, papalitan ko kayo dyan sa loob. And that is exactly what they're doing as of the moment. Unfortunately, that run led to a dead end. Now it's Monte Loyola disrupted by Quezon's defense. And that's a good sign kasi even though the ball will stay with PUP, defense set up.
Yes, too strong. Di lang nakuha ni, that's number 16, Marvin Elospa. Just couldn't get a handle on the leather.
Sunga checking in the ball game as well. Tries. This time to Cuaterno. Soft touch, not gonna work. But look who's there. Zodiacal. Past dalawang puntos.
Being at the right place at the right time. Skying for that.
Look at this. They have the lead again. Or they actually have the ball again. And Zodiacal, he might want to try again. Not gonna work. Following his shot. And he gets it. My goodness. Sunga for 3. Not gonna work. But coach, this is what you like to see about most of these players. They're really trying to follow their shot.
Yes, and Zodiacal, smallest man on the floor, he was able to track that down.
Quezon with the 2 points.
Right
And he
in the nick
extends.
of time.
And he extends the lead to 3. Right at the nick of time, as you would say, and that is going to be the end of the third quarter. The Great Danes of Angeles University Foundation have overtaken the PUP Radicals, 51-48 after 3. Final frame of action here at the Central Recreation and Fitness Center. You're still watching the first season of the Far East Basketball League. Hans Galleria together here with Coach Anton De Los Reyes and Miss Angelica Sarmiento on courtside. And it is now the side of Angeles University Foundation leading by 3, 51-48. A lead that was once held by the side of PUP for at least 3 quarters. And they've overtaken them in the best case scenario possible.
And I like what I'm seeing with the AUF, no, talking about the rotation that they have. They understand that PUP likes to use fresh legs. And I wouldn't say they've countered it, but they've found that it's useful for them to also extend that rotation that they have.
So far, extending his arms is TJ Apinan, and that is 2 points to start it off for PUP.
A great start for the fourth quarter, keeping it, or cutting that 3-point lead just to 1 point.
Here comes Quezon. Lipat kay Manalo. Elospa with 10 seconds to shoot. Trying to find the rest of his teammates. He is swarmed now. Quezon having 2 seconds. Can he find a shot off? And that is an offensive foul called against Yodge Quezon.
So Yodge Quezon getting called for that offensive foul. Like you said, Hans, medyo may
something.
extension yes.
Kumbaga nahaluan ng something.
May contaminant.
May contaminant. May something weird. And there you have it. Nakita yun ng isa sa ating mga officials. And that is a foul. Almost a no-look pass. I mean, AUF wasn't expecting it, and so was Quaterno.
Zodiacal had the right idea. Eagle eyes would have been an easy 2 points for his teammate.
Coach, I think that shows the importance of always having your hand like this, right? You always have to be ready for the basketball.
Also about familiarity, one of those things could be that it's a new player, hindi pa familiar kay Zodiacal, that he would pull the trigger on that pass.
Elospa now finding the center court again. Tries to go for the tip in, and that works for MJ Elospa.
So gets that follow-up to go. Talking about Elospa, had 9.6 rebounds, 3 steals in their first game.
But now has 4 points.
Yes, now 4 points in today's ball game. And 4 points, 4 rebounds.
Unfortunately,
for Elospa.
On the other hand, it's a turnover again for the side of PUP. They're gonna have to do cleaner execution because again, they're getting ahead of themselves. As of this moment, the speed of the game is getting to them, even though they're speedy themselves.
That's the 10th turnover para sa Radicals.
Ooh, look at that cut coming in from MJ Elospa, getting the goods done, and now finally gets it to fall. And Elospa has 6 points in this game. Jerry Cruz joining the action. Quaterno will be stepping out of bounds. 5-point lead para dito, and Jerry Cruz making immediate impact in this game.
So Jerry Cruz getting that short stab to go. Yung mga knockout play ng PUP Radicals working wonders for them in today's ball game.
PUP playing smart in this matchup. Meanwhile, the side of AUF is really just enforcing themselves and how physical they are and how strong they have been, just like that. But Witison got rejected. Now it's Zodiacal trying to fight against the defense. Not gonna work. Iiwan niya kay Apinan. Sunga had the right intention but the wrong execution, and now there's Dairit. Nalalatag ng 2 puntos.
Angelo Dairit scored 5 points in their first ball game, getting that transition basket to go.
Apinan's gonna try. Doesn't get the friendly roll towards the basket.
Almost a 3-pointer for Apinan.
Look at this now. Quezon retrieving the ball.
Almost a turnover para sa, or another turnover being forced by the Radicals. Talagang their defense will not give you a chance to set up, and that is what head coach Jodel Pacampara did mention. Talagang pressure.
13 seconds in the shot clock. Witison absorbs it. He's now being swarmed by the defense, and defense has proven to be successful. Turnover para sa AUF.
So again, that pressure defense.
Ayan na naman sila. Jerry Cruz. Almost a turnover. Joquino. And that has been Atwell having a hand on it. Magiging fresh 14, or actually just 14 seconds sa matitira para sa side ng PUP.
So we're gonna look for what kind of sideline inbound play PUP has. Because remember, their baseline plays are very, very successful.
This time it's Montaloyola paving space against Atwell. Using an extra bump, not gonna work. Nasa 5 pa rin ang kalamangan nila. Elospa on the open lane. Iiwan sa kanya ulit. Almost a 2-pointer. But he has to go to the free throw line.
So Marvin Elospa, recipient of that pass from Paul Tulabing. It's great recognition by Tulabing for that wraparound pass to his teammate Elospa, diving in the lane.
Tulabing hasn't really been one of their key scorers, but I guess the reason for him always being there in this game is his basketball IQ. He knows how to make the right passes and the right decisions at most times.
And you always have to recognize to reward your bigs, no? Pagka they do those, when they cut hard to the basket,
Tsaka pag
when they
tumatakbo.
run, yes, when they run the floor. For example, napalpal ng big mo and then he runs down, you have to reward him for that.
And rewarded he was. MJ Elospa, lead goes to 7 para sa kupunan ng AUF. Although a foul is going to be called against Dairit. It's a little hard not to see Dairit, especially with his long frame.
I always mention this and I'm going to repeat it again. Don't give the referees a chance to blow their whistle by reaching in. Just play good, honest defense. Stop with the reaching in.
Joaquino gets it to Zodiacal. Now it's Exclamador. We haven't seen a lot from him recently. Zodiacal lining up a 3, too strong. Jere Cruz and Elospa fighting for it. That's jump ball now. At mananatili ang bola dito sa kupunan ng Polytechnic University of the Philippines, who will also be calling a timeout as AUF. The Great Danes are in the lead, 59-52. Back in the ball game we go. Less than 5 minutes remaining. 59-52 is the score. Naghahabol ngayon ang PUP. That's not gonna help. Jere Cruz absorbing his own rebound and getting 2 points. Relentless offense.
Working hard on that offensive glass to get his team back to 5 points.
Now it's Buitison kontra kay Zodiacal, easily leaving him in skying high for a 2-point of his own.
That's the advantage, the height advantage being shown by AUF, Charles Buitison in particular.
Exclamador stepping back with the J, too short, gets his own rebound. Ililipat kay Joaquino. 10 seconds remaining. They're not gonna use that. Instead, an Apinan 3-pointer is gonna be a miss. Now it's Tolabing. Atwell finds some open room. Lilipat kay Elospa, who gets completely rejected by Jere Cruz.
So the timing of Jere Cruz on Marvin Elospa, evident on that defensive play.
Denied, as people would say.
Return to sender.
It didn't even return to him. He didn't get it again. My goodness. Those long arms,
yes,
man.
Great defense. Great timing on defense by Jere Cruz.
But again, for Jere Cruz and PUP, time is not on their side. They're going to have to find their way as Apinan has been trying his best to light up those threes. It's not working so far.
He was wide open. That was a good shot. Just couldn't get it to go.
Buitison just absorbing contact and going for it and getting 2 points.
Charles Buitison.
This time it's Rivera for 3. Coach, they've had open looks. Just not a lot of points converted.
Not able to knock down those open looks that they're getting. I'm talking about the Radicals. And you mentioned time is not on their side.
This time, it's going to be another 3. That's not going to work. Rivera sizes up the defense. Exclamador, the smallest guy on the floor, getting 2 offensive rebounds. And the Radicals passing it all together. but it will still remain with the side of PUP. And I guess that's something that we're going to have to try and figure out, because AUF was obviously not happy with the last call.
They're asking for a review of that particular play. So that is allowed in, as per FIBA rules. You can ask for a review, and that is exactly what assistant coach Mark De Guzman asked for. Because this is an important possession. Remember, 54 or 63-54. An extra possession for the Radicals can shift the momentum back on their side.
And this is very important because, again, both of these teams are currently undefeated. They've won their very first game. Mahalaga ito to put themselves at a very good spot for the next games ahead.
No, namumuhunan.
Oo. And again, just like what our game announcer Gio Cruz has said, the challenge is going to be successful. It will now go to the side of AUF as they keep the lead at 9 points, maybe even extended. Witison against Rivera. So far, the man in white has won that matchup. He's going to try to go at it, but there's 2 free throws that is awarded again to player 77 of AUF.
Jerry Cruz in that particular possession, or that defensive stand, getting called for a foul. But you did mention Charles Butison, the pace that he has, he can shift. He can change his pace to be able to get inside. A variety of moves that are very, very effective for him to get his shot off.
With the Sun making 1 out of 2, that puts the lead of Angeles University Foundation at 10. With the Sun going to the bench, scoring 15 points in this game. A really big improvement from his very first one. Rivera absorbing contact. Still no foul whatsoever. He was looking for a call from one of our officials, but our officials just looked right back at him. And that's going to be another timeout called by one of our teams. It is a 10-point lead, 64-54. Now, according to some of the things that we have witnessed in this game, Charles Butison, even though it seemed like he was okay, was asked to leave the court due to a cut on his right elbow.
Yes.
Yeah, so with that being said, it is going to be Tolabing, Atuel, that's Dairit, Cruz, and the Elospa. Meanwhile, it's Exclamador, Apinan, Zodiacal, Rivera, and also Hugo para sa kupunan ng PUP. Last 2 minutes of the game. Atuel's gonna try to shoot it. Not gonna work. Pero may tawag ang ating referees. And that is going to be against Gian Cruz of AUF.
I can't stress this enough, but you can't get any more undersized than this 5 on the floor for PUP. Remember, Jeric Cruz, one of the taller players para dito kay head coach Judel Pacampara, on the bench right now.
I feel like he's gonna lean towards the shooters now, and that is probably the game plan thus shooting that first three-pointer. Pero medyo inaalat kasi ang PUP the past few minutes of this fourth quarter.
And just to check, the 3-point field goals nung third quarter, 2 out of 18. Ngayon, still 2 out of 23 for PUP.
Hugo on the floor, but he had to let go of the ball. That means one thing. But look at PUP just really scrambling for the basketball, but they would get fouls instead. Still not in penalty situation, but at the same time, you're starting to feel the pressure now.
We are at 1 minute and 31, double-digit lead para sa AUF.
I mean, three-pointers is easier said than done, right? I feel like that's the ideal scenario, or maybe that is. Rivera wants to go at it. He tries to go inside, and he will be tested for 2 free throws. That's how we start a comeback.
But that's the right idea. You take it strong. The three-pointer is not there. You take it strong. You stop the clock, and you're able to get 2 free throws and a chance to set up your defense.
And look at that, Coach. We have our third graduate. It's none other than Vince Atuel.
So Vince Atuel getting called for his 5th personal foul. Nothing he could do.
And again,
Streaking Rivera.
And again, that's very much unfortunate. Para dito kay Rivera, you need every free throw you can get.
Yes. But he did make the second. So he went 1 out of 2.
Coach, for James Rivera, back in the previous game, he played 30 minutes. He scored 15.6 assists and 5 steals. Now he only has a point. That was his first point of this game.
So noticeably missing, is James Rivera. But again, head coach Jodel Pacampara does say na wala siyang star player talaga. Whoever has the hot hand, that's who they'll go to.
And look at Exclamador. And now the defense has worked again. This time, it's Rivera. He's gonna try. Nope. And defense of AUF is already set up. Hugo, 53 seconds remaining. Exclamador lights up a 3. No good. Apinan absorbing it. Fresh 14 for the team. Zodiacal gets it to Apinan for a quick 2.
Great pass by Zodiacal, getting to the heart of the defense, dishing off at the last moment to his teammate inside, getting the 2 points to go.
17 points now para dito kay TJ Apinan. They're gonna have to try and fight it. Exclamador has been a magnificent defender for the Radicals, even though you would think that his size would limit it. That's not the case.
Very athletic, able to get up high, and you see it from his build. Very athletic build by Exclamador. Just not the tallest of players. Can't measure a player's heart though.
Oh, look at this. Jasper Marzan, a player that hasn't played the entirety of this game, is going to be pulled out of the lineup. And Buitison making a comeback in this game, and he gets it again. Energized. His teammates are. And Buitison taking his sweet time as he gets it in. My goodness. He had a PUP player on the floor. He was on the floor, but he gets 2 points anyway.
So the heft of Charles Buitison on display, dropping his initial defender and getting that basket to go.
57-66 now is the score. Buitison misses on that one. Now rushing are the Radicals. Exclamador for 3. That's good.
So finally gets a 3-pointer to go, the Radicals in this quarter. That is their first 3-pointer in this quarter.
Now in double digits is Have Exclamador. But unfortunately, in the first quarter, he scored 7 points. But ever
And from
since
there,
yeah,
yes.
this is the point, or that's the shot that got him into double digits.
10 points, yes. That three-pointer.
And again, Buitison is back on the line to shoot for 2. Makes the first one.
So this is just the finishing touches for AUF. They are, looks like they're gonna go 2-0 in our first season of FEBL.
Final shot by Exclamador is not gonna work, and that will also be the end of this game. And after 4 quarters, AUF struggled in the first half, but then found a way to get ahead and get over the pesky defense of the PUP Radicals, and they win by 7 points. 60-67 is the final score.
I like how assistant coach Mark de Guzman was able to adjust to the defense that was being thrown at the Great Danes side. He countered yung pesky defense by opting to make sure to run a bit more and get the ball to half court, because they do have the advantage pagdating sa size, and once you get to the half court, mahirap na talagang bantayan yan.
And the last time around, it was Gian Cruz who was the best player of this team when they went up against the College of St. Catherine. But this time, it is Charles Buitison, and I was talking to you about this player right from the start, that you're going to have to watch out for him. And this is the reason why.
He's a big guard. Definitely has the advantage, because you did mention yung mga guards talaga dito sa FEBL. Lamang na lamang siya because of his height. So, took advantage of that, full advantage of that in today's ball game.
I honestly felt like for AUF during their first game, they were struggling to find someone who would take the reins para sa Angeles University Foundation. Pero with Charles Buitison finding his space, finding the right moves, he has scored at least 18 or 19 points, and we'll figure more of that out in just a bit. But at the same time, it was also a collective effort coming out from each and everybody else, and I'm sure that people are excited to witness and to hear kung ano nga ba ang sasabihin ng ating best player of the game, kasama si Miss Angelica Sarmiento.
16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. So Charles, congratulations. And nasaktan ka nga at na-hurt mo ang right arm mo, but still you're able to win this game. Sa tingin mo, anong naging susi ng yung pagkapanalo?
Siguro unang-una nagtiwala kami sa isa't isa. Credit sa mga teammates ko at saka sa mga coaches ko, no? Kundi dahil sa kanila, di kami mananalo. At yun, ginawa lang namin yung best namin, no, para manalo at may panalo tong larong ngayon.
At isa pang question ko, saan ka pinaka na-challenge sa larong ito?
Siguro yung depensa nila, yung sa trap. So lahat ng teammates ko na-pressure, kaya kailangan ko mag-step up para ipanalo yung game na yun. Yun lang.
Thank you so much. Baka meron kong gustong batiin or pasalamatan sa ating mga viewers.
Unang nagpapasalamat ako sa Panginoon, kundi dahil sa Kanya hindi kami mananalo. At syempre sa pamilya ko at sa mga AF community at sa mga teammates ko at coaches ko, yun lang. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. And once again, congratulations. Mukhang masaya ang kwentuhan nyo nga pa uwi. Back to you guys.
Oo nga, no? Masaya nga ang kwentuhan ng AUF pabalik ng Pampanga. Thank you to Ms. Angelica Sarmiento and also to our best player of the game, Charles Buitison. But another header is going to be going at it once more. The debut match of these two teams, ang pamangtasan ng lungsod ng Pasig, will go up against the Philippine International College for our match number 3. Coach Anton, any final thoughts about what happened in game number 2?
Again, I gotta commend assistant coach Mark de Guzman for being able to find the right combination and pull out this win para sa AUF.
An amazing effort moving forward para sa Angeles University Foundation as they move 2 wins and no loss at all. Meanwhile, PUP has to endure ang kanilang unang pagkatalo after this matchup. In behalf of Ms. Angelica Sarmiento and Coach Anton de los Reyes, my name is Hans Galeria. Magbabalik ang FEBL.